this chat back over here. Okay, now it doesn't look like we have an awful lot of people along, but maybe that'll change as time goes by. The point behind this particular session is that, first off, I wanted to show some of the pictures that I didn't get to show in the last tour. To give you an example, if I can sort out my mouse because I'm on several different devices at the moment. Here we go. I want to enable this. Okay. Okay, now here's the thing about Facebook, Susan, is that the chat in this, for some reason, is not compatible with the software that I'm using. So I actually have to watch a different screen. And that gives me several different things to watch at this point. So I've got two chat windows. I have to look over to the side to see my broadcasting software, and in all, it's kind of a pain in the backside. But anyway, this is one of the pictures that I wasn't able to show during the last tour. It's some of the concept art for the Guild Hall, or simpler version of it, which would have been down along the harbor. Judging from this picture, it's showing it as being off the side of the island, but I'm not quite sure exactly where it is in relationship to the ferry terminal, although I believe it's on that side. And the next thing I want to show is this one here. I'm going to have to open up another computer. Oh, never mind. The Facebook stream was a little bit behind when I put things up on my stream software. Okay. This one shows basically the same thing, but with a little more damage to it, and it looks like a slightly different coloration on the Guildhall Tower. In the background of this one, you can see a large stalagmite, and then often behind it is the Arch of Turith. The next picture is another view of the same tower, but this one shows the entire tower rather than just the small parts of it that we saw in the previous pictures. And the next picture is just a little bit closer in than the previous ones. The picture that I'm showing now is a bit of a mystery to me because it shows a structure that I've never seen in any of the other production or concept art. And I haven't the faintest idea of what this building is supposed to be, although there's a few candidates. You can see that it's around the corner from the guild hall. In this picture, in the left-hand side, you'll see an archway that leads to the bridge that would go over to the small outcrop that the guild hall is located on. And then on this side, we have this mystery building. Some of the things that it could have been are, there were several planned structures which never actually made it into the game. One of them was called the Steward's House, although this looks to be a little bit small, but then it could be 3/4 underground for all I know. There was the Arch Museum. There was the entrance into the Aquarium, which I know from other production art was going to be mostly under the water level because they had a giant panoramic window which would look out into the Denis Lake underwater. Let's see, I'm not seeing any activity, so you are still hearing me and seeing all this, aren't you? Because I don't see anything in chat at the moment that shows that you all are listening. In fact, I'm going to go ahead and bring up some, let's see, I need to go upward. Oh, okay, I need to go to... Here we go. This is a picture of what the aquarium was initially conceived to look like. In this picture, you'll see what apparently were going to be a number of fish tanks shaped like bubbles. And then you have the main structure is composed of panoramic windows, which apparently, and this whole thing apparently was going to be under the Denny Lake. The things hanging down from the ceiling, I'm not sure what those are, but presumably they might have been light sources. I'm still not seeing anything. Laura, Susan, you are still watching? Because I don't see you in chat saying anything. Oh, in that case, you may have just missed some pictures. Laura was watching a little while ago, but she hasn't said anything, so I don't know if she's seeing any of this. Yeah, that's the picture that should be showing up right now. These are, yeah. These are the photographs that I was going to show. And then I had something else which I had forgotten about until Korov brought it back into mind for me, which is there is a demo that somebody made using the pre-production sketch for the guild home. And let's see if I can, there we go. So with this, you can actually get a sense of what it might have been like if it had actually made it into the game. And if I can remember my controls, yeah, there we go. I'm going to walk over, and unfortunately he did not give this place an interior, so this is as far as we can get. And if I look inside, you'll see that it's completely blank. But we can definitely get a nice view of the outside of it. And the other thing that he did that was also impressive, this was done using the real engine, by the way, which is what Cyan used when they were making Abduction, and presumably they're using for Firmament. So it wouldn't, this particular thing would not be compatible with the game. But if you remember in that sketch, we had a cutaway showing the lower floor and the where the Temple of the Great King is. And we can even, I always hate doing this because it makes my stomach feel funny, but bam, down we go. So we can see this from 2 other levels. And for here you can see that the roof of the temple is actually not connected to the guild tower above it. And if we drop down yet again, say, here we are down at the temple level. It does go all the way around, but he didn't light it very well, so there's not much point. And now I can go up at least this far towards the temple entrance and look up at the guild hall above it. Unfortunately, once I get down here, there's no way to get back up short of restarting this demonstration. But hey, and say that's pretty darned impressive for a little throwaway fan piece just meant to show what a sketch might look like if they'd ever actually made it. Going to go ahead and kill that. And then the other thing that I was going to do for this, let's see, I can get rid of this one. Yes. Okay. I had mentioned that one of these times I was going to come back and walk through the dirt descent demo, and I figured I might want to try that today. I'd like to be able to turn off the music for this, but if there's a way, I don't know how. Let me kill the volume on this just a little bit. Let's see, where's the game audio? I don't have a control for it, so I guess I'm stuck with those volumes. When I head down here, they actually have a lizard sitting on a rock, which goes scuttling off. That's actually, the tuck and roll is programmed, so that you don't have no control over it. Now, where's that entrance? Here we go. And there we have light. So if I go down here, this is where there's a tunnel node. through this, this is the where the worm is, the Denis tunneling machine. So I can climb up these rocks. And get in, and then turn it on. That's right, Susan. This was the pre-make, or the preview that they were making. Originally, to get to Denis, you were going to have to go through this. They reworked it to make Myst 5. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this big machine is being powered by this. That little ball I took out right there and I'm holding in my hand is the power source for this machine. If I'd have gone back into, climbed back into the machine, it would not have been able to do anything without that ball inside. And just like that, I'm at the Great Shaft. The lighting here is a kind of a cross between the way it was in Myst 5 and the way it is in Uru. There's some light, but it's mostly dark. But unlike Uru's descent, the elevator is intact. And down here we get a good view of the Tiwa monograms that are atop the pillars. It's called the name of that tunneler that we were at is the Worm. That name comes from the game files. So that's what they were actually intending on calling it. Actually, what he was talking about were the four great Denis excavation machines: Stone Tooth, Rockbiter, or Rockbiter, Stone Tooth, and I forget the other two off the top of my head. But those were completely different machines. Since I don't have any of my notes up, I can't really tell you off the top of my head what they were called. And yes, this version has that same annoying puzzle that you have to do in Myst 5 in order to get the platform up. The last time I showed this demo during the descent tour, or Great Shaft tour, whichever you want to call it, I couldn't get the camera down here because there was a problem with my save files. So I was not able to show here we go. This machine down here. Whoops. Stuck on a pillar. This is the remains of a machine called a scarab. Scarab. Oops. Hehe. Having trouble with the camera controls. Okay, that's a little better. Eek. See if I can get this blooming thing to cooperate. Yeah. Here we go, that's a little better. The Scarab is a kind of tunnel maintenance machine. And it... Let's see, I need to go back to a still image. Let's see, I want to go to... Right now I'm looking for a still picture that I've got of the Scarab. Here we go. So the still picture that should be coming up in a moment shows the Scarab as it would have looked in one piece and not nose down in the floor the way that it is now. The reason why the Scarab is smoking when you run into it is because that was actually going to be something that you ran across and had to power up by harvesting the power ball from the worm. And you were going to run it around in the tunnels until eventually it crashed here on the floor of the Great Zero. So that's why you see it as a wreckage. Eric Anderson, the art director of from Cyan, once said in a comment in Facebook that until we dug up these pictures of it that I'm showing now, he had never seen the Scarab in one piece, which is quite something considering that he was the one who shared this demo with everyone. Let me get back to the game. So you can see bits and pieces of it lying around. And just like the original game, in order to get any further, you have to raise the floor. Okay, what the heck? My camera's glitching out. Let me see if I go to first person and then back. Yeah, that helped. That's certainly... Okay. Okay, that puzzle's done with. Let's see, wrong side. Oh, I didn't just do that. The puzzle's exactly the same. You do have to raise it in both games in order to get on to the rest of the... I messed up, though, by accidentally stepping on the switch and taking it down. I should have walked around it. Now let's see, is it over this way? Yeah. Eh. That or maybe they were just trying to make it harder, Susan. But yeah, having that being something that you can accidentally trip by walking on it is a little bit annoying. But on the other hand, it does make it easier when you need to get off it while the thing's still running. Okay, this doorway goes back out to the great shaft. And then this thing's glitchy as heck, so I have that's why we're having these camera bugs popping up. So what I'm doing right now is I'm going in and out of first person trying to fix it. Okay, here we go. Now, this room is the last one that you could get to in Myst 5. But Myst 5 didn't have this feature, where if I move this switch, did you notice that the raised rings went downward? These rings would form a track for the worm or for the scarab, and they could go around in circles on it, and you could get them from one ring to the next by raising and lowering those guide rails. And this is the other thing that you could not do in Myst 5. Open this door and walk through it. Yeah. Yep. This was a demo, so it's not exactly fully optimized. And here's the first room that we never got to see in Myst 5. Now, the bridge is broken. You can't jump across it. Even if you could, the other side isn't solid. There's a hatchway that goes to a service ladder, But if you look on the other side, the opposing hatch has a boulder on top it, so you can't open it. That means that the only way across is to take a dive. I'm answering a question in another chat window right now. Okay, so having taken the long fall into the river, we are across and now. Chris, this isn't Uru. This is a demonstration that Cyan made for itself. It was shared by Eric Anderson this last year, and it's which was the first time that fans have ever seen it. This was going to be the original way that you actually got into the Denis Cavern. Before they decided to just link you there. And let me get back to the game screen. Hello, Malum. And say, and this isn't the end of the annoyances that they. Yeah, this is basically. I had shown this demo in an earlier tour and promised that at some point I'd get back to it. So what I'm doing right now, this is going to be recorded on Facebook and YouTube so that people can see it. Now let's see, am I about right? Hopefully that won't drop me back in the water. Okay. And I just ran into one of many game bugs. Can I recover from this is the question. Okay, I'm not going to, so I'm going to try seeing if one of my saves will get me past this. So, if you'll give me a moment here, I will go and see what. Let's see, bottom. Bug cave one. Okay, let's see if that'll do it. Yes. Okay, this is what's on. What would have I would have gotten to if I had made that jump successfully. And here we have some more fire marbles to replace the one that I've got, because in the next room this one here, there was going to be a hazard that caused you to lose the fire marbles. Oops, I forgot to uncover my chat window after I did that save. Uh, Okay, Malum asks, is this from the files that were released several months ago? And the answer is yes. This is the Dirt Descent demo. No, there's no linking books. There's there's I don't believe there's anything in there, otherwise they'd have shown us an interior view. Each one of the lights on this particular platform is where I've pressed a switch to turn on lights. So as you can see, in the direction that I came from, there were only the three that I already things that I pressed. Three things. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Okay, I had forgotten that this direction is something of a trap. Do you notice how everything's gotten darker? It's because I went down that path. Let's see, if I go back, I'm going to pause the game for a moment and see which other save game files I've got. If I go down that particular path, all the lights get dark, and that's a bug in the system. In this particular puzzle, the fireflies are supposed to come along and steal the light from your fire marbles, which is why you had a supply of them in that other cave. It was expected that you'd have to go back and forth to get more several times. Let's see. Dirt Descent. Save. Let's see. So let's look at Bottoms 5. Okay, what was those? Bug Cave 3, yeah. So why didn't it load? Oh, there we go. Okay. So I moved to where I had all of the available switches pressed. Oops. Now, where is that? Oh, there it is. Here we go. Let's see, this is as far as we can get on this path, and I think there was one more. This whole puzzle is hanging stalactites hanging from the ceiling and bridges between them. Let's see, I'm not sure if I'm backtracking at this point. I guess we'll find out in a moment. No, that isn't familiar, so... Yeah, this is, and that was me falling off the end of the path because that's where the demo ends. And that's all the streaming I was planning on doing this because I want to do a complete walkthrough of the Dirt Descent demo, as well as the little bit that I did at the beginning. But yes, that was as far as the demo went, and they definitely put a period on the end of it by making you fall into the depths. It would have been nice if we could have seen the pathway below Malum, but unfortunately, if you go that way, the game gets completely dark and you simply cannot see a thing. But that's still downloadable. Uh, Eric Anderson made that and two other demos public. One which is called I forget the name. Forget the name off the top of my head. Somebody's Cove is Nolobin, where they were testing out some ideas on it. No, there's no first person. The other demo was completely unrelated to Uru. It was just them testing out the game engine that they were using. And that was Hector's Cove. That's the name of that other demo. say in the but yes, there's a number of hidden commands that you have to research in order to find out what they can do. Uh, the common commands that'll get you through the game, uh, through Descent, are A, which is the button that activates things. So A for activate. And you use that for anything that involves using your hands. You use the arrow keys as normal or the mouse in order to steer yourself, and then just like Uru, Shift makes you run, and the space bar makes you jump. Pressing the tilde key allows you to save and load files, and that's the commands are load and save, and then whatever you want the file name to be. Those are saved into the game folder as long as you has a folder name SV. What is it? Hang on just a second. Let me go take a quick look. In the Descent folder, you have to have an SAV, Sierra Alpha Victor folder. If you don't have that, it won't be able to save anything. And let's see, what else? When you first start up the game, pressing the A key gets you out of the preview screen and into the game itself. And then to get out of the game temporarily, I was using the tab key and choosing another window. The last major command that you'll need in order to get in and to get through the game is O. The O key changes you from from third person to first person view. But in first person view, you can't move, you can only look around you. And yes, the whole point of this is that now that I've done this, it's recorded and saved on my YouTube channel and on my in my Facebook videos. This is the background picture that I'm showing at the moment is one of the concept art pieces of the Mystery House on Catha Island. I believe this was done by Stephen Martiniere, but I'm not sure. It might have been another artist because I often have trouble tracking down who these concept art pieces belong to. They are not marked in the folders. I'm kind of working through Catha Island, the concept art from my backgrounds at the moment. Anyway, that's it, and I'm going to go ahead and kill the stream now. So thanks for showing up whenever you all did to ask me some questions and things so that I can know what to talk about.